Aminom any yenuanom a woton gene e wo Kumasi Arangana kasebra one nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ ɛdi nkɔmɔkyerɛ sɛ asɛm bi di kanti nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ metie bi na yɛnka bi ɛmfa ɛma wɔ mo san so ana kane mampani ɛwɔ Nigeria man mu yɛwura Olusegun Obasanjo ɛna kasebra one so de nano ɛtum ɛwɔ de ɛkɔso ɛwɔ Niger na no pai nsɛm no pi ka ho na nakwabra kɛse wote yɛnka Sompa 93.1 FM Sompa 90.7 ɛno akyi Sompa 98.9 yɛda wase anopai yɛnhyɛ nsɛm no ase Sadie ensam esikeka kɔ ɛwɔ Niger animu nsɛnsɛm no ɛyɛ adeɛ sɛ Ghana mpanifo ɛne adeɛ obi a ɛka ho asɛm ahwɛ kwampa yɛbɛtumi afa so sadie bɛyi a Niger ho nsɛnsɛm no yɛbɛtumi hu nyinaa yɛnim na no aka ho bi ama nhyiamudeɛ akɔ so makyerɛ sɛ bambo agina tukuo panifo ahodoɔ yɛ wɔ man mu no ɔmakodi nhyiamu no nyinaa no ɛyɛ deɛ bɛkɔ so afa Ghana ha sɛ nso na akɔpie mu ɛwɔ Niger no na ɔnabo Samuel Okudjato Abrakwa wɔyɛ marasobɛdwere de ma de hyɛ yɛ wɔ Northton abato mpasua no so ɛna ɔne nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ ɛdi nkɔn no kyerɛ sɛ asɛm no obi ka
decided that we will not disclose the content of the discussions and the outcome of the meeting. So I'll just say that it's been a good meeting. The entire legality of anything that will happen must be of concern to all of us as lawmakers. And at the end of the day, it's about our national interest. Because 73 and Article 40 is very clear. Our national interest must be at the center of any decision, our national interest. And don't forget Article 40C encourages peaceful resolutions of matters. So as I've told you, the matters are very sensitive and delicate. Consultations are going to continue on this matter. This is a very sensitive matter. And since we have a collective agreement that we will not divulge the details at this point, I think that we should go with that. But as time progresses, I'm sure that we are going to.
Why am I saying the man say what Northton about on person? So you are Samuel Okudjato Abrakwa and what you are James Agaga. One also ye Marasebe the man say what Buisa North about on person. So then Samuel, what the man some telephone.
Our stance in the minority hasn't changed. We are firmly of the view that the Niger crisis ought to be resolved through diplomatic means. Through diplomatic means. We are convinced in our minds that we haven't exhausted the diplomatic option and therefore should not start a war in Niger.
And yeah, Echagwe James Agaga Marasabatan de say war Buisa Nov Nayada Soa. I was and some Yamsum Fakua who draw your Ghana has so Edomanatum, our dear Ecoso, Ewo Nigenumo. Na Dr. Sel Fayosi, Wano Ena. Why General Secretary Dema Christian Council or did some baby to join us some working in ano Eddie Coso Ewonigeno.
It is one thing preaching to the conscience of society and individuals. It is another thing for people to adhere to whatever advice you give them. So I believe that the church may not have spoken directly to the issue, but in very general terms, we have been speaking about good governance, doing the right thing, not cutting corners, not trying to change constitutions to favor you. We have been talking about those things, maybe not directly. But the point is that no matter how much or how many times we say this in our pulpits, it's up to the individual to adhere to it or not. Yes, and we continue to do that. Every Sunday we are in the pulpits and we are preaching. We are telling you to do the right and not to do the wrong. But believe me or not, I'm a 70% Christian. We preach that we should desist from corrupt acts, and we are still engaged in it, even up to now. So it's not only the politicians or people in power, but it's even the ordinary person on the street. We keep telling them the right thing to do, but somehow thing is very fast. And let me also say that things move very, very fast in the media and in public, and sometimes we do not have a complete handle on the issue before you begin to assess. We are, I'm sure you are referring to the Honorable Minister Cecilia Dapes or former minister's case, for instance. There is still, it's still in process. We are finding more about it, and we are also thinking about what to say about it. There are some very clear aspects of it that are not. A public officer, for instance, should not keep that amount of money at home. But we are waiting for the right time to make a comprehensive statement on corruption, these corruption issues generally. So we are looking at the issues, but I think sometimes we are rushed. But as a very old, established organization that advocates for doing the right in society, we have to proceed cautious.
Dr. Seraph Ayosi, one of the General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana, and some the man some for I don't know. Yen we are Benis, Edusai, Boating, Etisamonte, so near Yanum, Yawaton, Jene, DJ Huja, Edin, Komokakra. Nino ya diakoso ewo ne gye no na wona ni kyerɛ mu sɛ wo kuma sanraga wo kuma sanraga nso ɔmo so ɛteɛ mu saa kyerɛ sɛ diakoso na no ɔden ɔpani ɛfɛ ne sɛ Alhaji Adam so bi a ɔno gye ne no ɔkra no dodo mu pa na manfo so betu ɛde afiri ne nkyɛne nsɛm ɔde ma Benis ne
e man on betu gye ne wase no asɛ ɔmo hunu sɛ don no man board no kwese no man board because na ku no ma ye no ne to gye ne be sɛ 700 800 but asat na o make say e to gye ne no 1,500, 1,600. Maybe 2,000. Maybe 2,200. What you say? No man, no idea. But any year you cover bano if a mistake. Baby, the whole Africa say baby any gene pie free. Any just no matter what them. This is see an obia who baby no yaka crib the bar. Not nibon ababedi. Obeto patro. Omambeso. Omambe vintama no crany. No crany. Jene the boy. Into mamma say ubi samia. Na de tie no je ne de no kwani bo mo mbeto no so no muso beti ye na eton no ye fort because ade no nke ye nyina ye ko na enya bia ye na ye ko fa je ne almost ye ko bo mo fa fende but se o mo ko fa je na ka fa de balisi am be hende pe
Alhaji Adams ewie ye no ye nua ba no so ne wone a woton bi no ankasa ne wona mbeto bi no so edi nkomo
to je ne awo anuna gadwom se na ntoko na esi ya no Jenna ni bimba na ya nyebi ato ama ya hu kyire pa first no ya nya jenna ni bag 5 million ntoka ne mba ya no se ntoka na aba ama jenna ni bimba mpo na ya nyebi ato mpanyimfo me ceramic kasamonim me pama chaw ya sramo mun sare na mun kabibi na momwaye se first no na roba no ya nya no 600,000 nanu ya tumunintino roba na ye betu akoton nde roba na ye 2 million ye sramu ampanyimfo we de ye sramu monim ne ye sramu mun sare njina na mun ka bibi mai ko ma chopa se jene no se de minu yi kan no kura pa se de mo ya den dodo e mo ya den se ye makura ntimi nko school ye mantimi nko school aya atu ani brenti ye sramu pa se de mo ya panya sama moya ye ni wo bia je samo na mbowye
Kane mampane yewura Olusegun Obasanjo na ekasebra wo be piem e wo Ghana ha mankasim na woni adesie 18 komne nyina no eye kwampa ne ma ye koso e wo Niger ne ade no ye betimi ahwe na yate ho ade afiri ho anase bia ye kɔ akɔboa wo nso ane hu kwampa ye betimi afa so na wode nsam atudwa opani ne nsam a woka nyina no eye tietia wo kyerɛ sɛ abibiman aho kyerɛ wo hia amamuo bɔne ketasese prokanka ne dwirim na awiawie ne.
The situation we are in is simply, let us put it as it is simply leadership and governance. We are in bad shape. We are in bad situation because leadership and governance in our different countries, in our sub-region, and indeed have not been what it should be. And what we have in West Africa today is not just unconstitutional change of government that will transition to civilian or civil government quickly. I visited one of the countries not too long ago, and after 2 nights, I came out with the feeling that young boys who are in charge of government, military, are not thinking of transition, they are thinking of one generation. They believe they require a generation to bring about the necessary change to the vestiges of colonialism.
Yura Olesegu Obasanjo ena yeteninka Dr. Free Akuto nche na yeduri na sama waka ne se ewi aseto bere bi a wodwuna de bi ho a wonte ase ene sen wo tere se contractors ahodo bebere e wo Ghana ha se ya ye ntua wo moka adwuma mo ye nyina no aye wo moka efri se o masam wo hwene so sa asem se na so obenten ya wo pese ohim frank adema NPP amanyaku no o mota na chebasa na aye nsem bebere.
It really tells you that there's no discipline in the party. What is going on is a classic example where people are publicly campaigning, high party officials are campaigning for one candidate against the instructions, the regulations of the party, and they know that nobody will say boo to them. You can't. Any institution cannot live without discipline. No, but I mean, that is wrong. It is not in our constitution. Somebody sitting somewhere can say I'm endorsed, but not a chairman of a party, and it becomes free for all. And they know that nothing will happen to them. And yet, the people who have been chosen to manage this party have the authority to actually punish people for going against the rules and regulations. And they are not cracking the whip. And so everybody is doing whatever they want. All those people making public pronouncements, they happen to be high government officials. So what happens if that candidate does not win? Because what they are doing is really egging the rest of the contestant and the country, and people feel very strongly that it is a misconduct go the way they are going, and there's some kind of force being used, intimidation. I mean, I receive complaints on my trips. Those contractors who are not seen to be for this candidate, they are not paid. When they completed their jobs, and they've taken huge sums of money from the banks, and the interest rates are 35, 50, 40%, and they're being punished. I don't know what an executive whip is, but.
Owie kra na wo kire se amanfo bi wo krom ha se ya mani atepa se baba to mu wo hu nyansa ne mu kro no bopa na afidie bi ebetimi ama anya nsunsuanso bi wa bato no so mpanifo behwe na omaka ho asem.
We proposed, the Electoral Commission accepted, the IGP has accepted. There's one introduction that you fail to give. That is, everybody will be searched to make sure they don't take any electronic thing into the boot. So they will do what they use, like you're going to go onto an aircraft at the airport, the way they scan you. The same thing is going to happen to each of the 960 to make sure that you're not carrying any item which will enable you to take a picture. And physically, it will be done. The IGP has assured us that his top policemen will be distributed across the country. They will be in charge at each of the booths. Has assured us that, so that local connections between local party people and local police and so on will not work. So what we couldn't achieve by saying that we should all come to one place so that everybody will see it, we have achieved through these new measures that we are, and that is reassuring the party across the country.
Dr. Free Akuto yenko akuapem na nanom atra nkonyo ye akuapem na nsem twerofo edin komo enchakwa na wodwira fashion no baso mpani se nsuo beto a emframa dikanti o madikan nsem twerofo din komo afa apomuden fam kakra so akyerɛkyerɛ nem kakra pompanifo ye hwa apomuden nsem so ewo akuapem ene ne mpatam hɔ no nyina no nkontabo ya omubuo no enya ade a emu ode madam Abigail dakete on na nsem twerofo edin komo no kyerɛ se sade HIV yare no pa sia tu atese ne nyinse tugo ni ade no ehadwen
woma omunya HIV ye testing woma no ye test no ye nya nipa 93 ye testing woma omunya ye out of the 93 no omo the ages of 15 to 19 no ye nya nipa 9 omo ye HIV positive, and between the ages of 20 to 24 and ye nya nipa 19 let's say ye membru Bebrena enya HIV ewo ye municipal ha. In fact, nana no yesra no odura ne ba so no yesra se ye di ntutu ye ni nyama betu ye ama emebru ye betumi a control wo ama ye if say ye daachi no wo say yare enya wo say sanya teenage pregnancy ni di family koso ewo ye district mu ha ye daachi ena eja performance yesra nana no mwashiri na wabaye apomodin for so.
Madam Abigail Dakite or a public health officer ewo okuapene ne mpotem na ne krakra mu kran so ne nua Madam Mabel Ametape wano so den sabakra ejaye kwan
substance induced related conditions about 17 and mema 17 ye nya oba wo mu ye call prayer camps so ye nya 43 ye ti ayo mo report wo hospitals in say substance induced no omo impose danger bia to themselves and it's omo person omo be report hospitals and it's ye call prayer camps ye nya 45 cases 45 no 2 and it's you call prayer camps no within the municipality near 45 cases me no ma and 43 and so and mema you call you will get to so municipalities ni mo you call you know 76 abusing substances no so do not combine cocaine weed prescription drugs semi tramadol diazepam combine they be abusing glue any paint petrol nina municipality and it get to the 76 very high and it's your best rested don't know almost unemployment any municipality more and I must say almost abusing and it's your best nanamo penny for say you drink so substances be brave alcohol and as a phone yeah the rabbit to home obia
I was say call as South Manson mu mfimfiri mantem ho na ye gina na ye da so wo apomuden animu nsam ye ma menom ne ye yere no mu a ewo important honum esu kire se akwan no enye no se ofafura na amanye nsen no asai na akwa bibia wo ho wontimi nko empo no watimi aba
we de enya me say so de ka akwa ye ko na sensu ato a enya asem keto a okwan ne so nti ye sre Assemblyman Robert Tete say yesre no omra no omeye bibi emfa kwan ne ho ma ya nye sade aye nto aba obi ani ho no mo beba aba beto aba man obi abiem nti yesre no ye panacho pa enya asem keto a e ma meto ateche num krampo enya asem keto a ekwan ne de enye kra ka kra ntimi mfa ho no yanka se won se ho so yi koko ne niema na wo ni ntino yi ka ne fa load na ebi kwa na akwa se ya ka kwan ne so ntimi nko bi yesre ne se omra me ye kwan ne mai kwan ne nya kete bodi enti fodwo de nyame anim ne kura ne wanya de kura wanya de yesre na ala omla na omaye yamwa ne ye kwan ne de awaka obi kura mpo na ahwa ye fa ne nkodu mpo na ebia wa kwan ma na asa asem si a aye critical say bia da bi nipa no onu awu ekwan ne nya kete ata insula sisi ade ekwan ne de amampani wo momodin aso baba abehwe no wa ya maye na ye ho hare yakwa nkan se awo akwa opia ka islamu ya kwani de hia ye papa opimfumu na mi gina ka to na mi pia ti islamu ya kwani de momodi ana mo hwa na mo yama ye anya sa de ntim fodwo ka wa ogba ya wode ani tiate momodi aso ba be ya kwana ma since oba ya na yi ya kan say oba ready sa wan MPO se den no every wo on see ya hobie
abusia wey eyase South Manson mu ye won fimfiri mantemu amane boni bi no anopa ye gina so ne de nsam na se wote ye nka Sompa 93.1 FM ewo kumase Sompa 93.1 FM ewo kumase ye nuanom Sompa 98.9 enso so ewo sunwane bono na afenso ahafo ne mpotem ho nyina mo so fa kase be no achi ye nuanom Sompa 90.7 ewo tachima ne nkranza ne mpotemu ye nyina ne ye kabo manopai ye de nsam no bra no pa no nsia brem kase o hwe bia na ye Sompa TV so ne ye da asem achi anopai ye fa na asema kuku anopo ya adwuma na kama sabe bom chidom na kwabna kese na woteme nka no peme kanfo de ma wo se ba bia wo nam ene ba bia wo kobia no hye no so se ubegye 5G no bi 5G no wonya bia ebeboa pa efiri se wonya no bia na wo ya ka kire GB they say they will be a wukurum baby a woton drinks ne nsuo ne saa ne ma nyina no mesra wo ya GB fra ne hwede eto no kane enso to kora keka ho wo call 21st clinic ho a ne tada ne Dr. Silas mo ho meboa wo madodo bi a wo pebia no nsa so atimi aka bi anase bi a na ye dey dikan a wo hwe me anase bi a wo tese ye ka ho asem a ma memfa number ne ma wo hwe TV no dia number ne gu ase no me pa cha ofre sisi a na dodo bi a wo pebia no ye ho adwuma kama na ye ni nkomo na onsa anka 0246 270 221 0246 270 221 ade ache bi adwumadie eto aso.